Brian Mason. I am a City Tech student, civil engineering department. Yeah, I'm civil engineering on the fourth floor, where we make fun of architects 24/7. For the decathlon project, right now, as far as my involvement via CUNY Service Corps, me and our team were putting together a specification package. The specification package basically is a part of the manual that tells you or describes every single piece of material that goes into this house. So it's really like tedious and it's really detail orientated. And then I'm also in charge of the transportation aspect of the project, which is getting the house from Brooklyn, New York to Irvine, California, and figuring out how we can get it there safely and in one piece, and having it be able to be constructed over in California in a timely fashion. I'm a civil engineer, and to be bluntly honest with you, to get jobs as a civil engineer with no experience is pretty hard. I mean, think about it that way. Like, let's put you in charge of building a house. You have no experience in it, but you just have a bunch of book knowledge. So the practical side of it is really important in my field. So I had a choice between doing AutoCAD stuff for a company over in the Brooklyn Navy Yard, or being a part of this project. So instead of like being in front of a computer doing AutoCAD lines and basically being an architect, I wanted to really get a hands-on experience on like basically the conception of the house to the actual physical house being there. So I wanted to be the engineer for that whole entire process. And I think that's going to be a lot of experience that I think is going to be valuable in the next couple of years. As far as development, well, I've only been like 2 weeks into the project already. Right now, we're reaching out to all the different transportation companies, seeing what they can do as far as transporting the house. Giving us some advice on how we should design the house to get it over there properly and intact. So that's where we are. So we're just starting up those conversations with them. And as far as the specifications part, we're actually going to be starting that right now as we speak. So the next 3 hours, I'll be crunching numbers and going through the teams that participated in the decathlon in 2013, going through their folder and getting an idea of what they did as far as specification and how they put that information out there for the judges. The specification part, I'm legitimately afraid of, but because it's, like I said, it's really detailed. But that's like an engineer's job anyway. It's like we go into the minute areas that not a lot of people really think about. It's like, what material are you going to be using for the flooring? What type of attachments are you going to be using? What type of wood? What kind of wood? How much is the wood weigh? How much is it going to cost? Things like that. When you're thinking about the whole entire project as a house, you're just thinking a house. You're not really thinking like, hey, what type of wiring are you going to be using? What gauge is it going to be? If there's a ventilation system, what material is the vent going to be? Things like that. How much is it going to weigh? I forgot the question. Well, the CUNY Service Corps, actually, my mentor in the engineering department, Professor Melanie Vellatoro, she is the one who kind of pushed me into doing the Service Corps because I was looking for internships. I was looking for them like with major firms. And the CUNY Service Corps just her and I talked about it. I signed up for it one Sunday. And I did the interview, I got the job. Then there's a part of it that you'd have to go to a matching fair. I don't know if you know how it works, but there's like a bunch of organizations there, and you do random interviews with each one of them. And if they like you, you like them. You're going to be working with them for the year. So I actually went there to do an after-school program for Professor Vellatoro, and we were just gonna do the interview because she was gonna put me on her team anyway. And then she said, you know what? Right across the table from her was Professor Aptekar, and she was like, hey, I think you're gonna be good for this project. I don't want you to go over there and get it, but I think this is exactly what you need to do. And I signed up for it, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. A lot of people are excited about the whole California thing. I just want to be able to say that I was like one of the engineers to help this project literally go from an idea to being over in California. I think that's going to be really big for me. Put that on the resume. Engineers rule, architect drools. No, kid you not, no. Seriously though, seriously. All joking aside. No. I keep on saying this. We have this thing downstairs on the fourth floor that architects are just and I in the past 2 weeks I'm starting to realize that some of those preconceptions and stereotypes that we have, both positive and negative, are actually how they are. It's really interesting.